Hello, peoples of the internet and of YouTube. Welcome back to Critical Botch, the only show where Pokemon seem to insert their names into our villains. I am Skijaramas, the Dungeon Master of this campaign, and joining me today, as same as last time, we have Darid87, Thomas K, Eli A, Zequan L. If you have no idea who those are, go back and watch episode 1. Seriously, it's pretty funny. So,
Hi guys.
yes. So, where we last left off. You guys, last I checked, you're still hanging out at the mansion, as according to that green square there. Where last time you dealt with an aggro knight who has now fled the scene, and, well, I guess it only makes sense to pick up right after where we left off, like, immediately so. So, at this point, I'm just going to say it's only been, like, maybe an hour tops since Char fled, and right now you're just sort of all gathered in front of the mansion nursing what wounds you accumulated during the combat.
Are we at full HP or do I have to roll, if we use a short rest, a hit die?
Hour's a short rest.
Yeah.
Sure, go ahead and roll the short rest die. I mean,
Oh, perfect. I wake up in 1 hour.
I assume that's what... I'm not exactly sure how hit dice work, because last time I was a player, we didn't really go into that a whole lot. So, someone should brief me on that later.
So what happens is you roll your hit dice, and that's how much HP you gain back.
Okay. Okay.
It's like a health potion.
Oh, okay. Alright,
So-
makes sense.
My D4 was recovering from unconsciousness without healing.
So 1 hour from now, you will wake up without any sort of outside interference, isn't it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, without outside healing.
Alright.
And after 1 hour of rest, I'm back at full HP. Yay!
Sweet. Alright,
Granted,
so...
I didn't have a whole lot of HP to begin with, but still.
Alright, so...
And I'm at 10.
Alrighty. So, I guess with this, I'll just sort of let you guys discuss amongst yourselves what you want to do, and we'll go from there. Because, if we're being brutally honest, I didn't actually have much time this week to plan out what was going to happen this session, so I'm basically just going to wing it.
That's always fun.
I mean, that's how I usually do it. I usually just wing it with a very basic skeletal outline, but I'm operating with even less outlining than normal, so, yeah. Let's
Well-
see how well this session goes.
Well, while we are resting, I would look through all of the books the dwarf had on him that I took from him before we threw him out of the window.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
We're gathering all the books and things.
You can take the elf stuff too, except the sword. I'm moping over the elfin sword.
Yeah, I'm just looking through the books if there's anything interesting.
There's a bunch of books that sort of go into like arcane jibber jabber that doesn't make a whole lot of sense to you.
Yeah.
And there are a couple of history books and what looks like a really old, like, falling apart journal. So
Like, halfway through the, or in part, as everybody's resting, Nalia actually will sleep for all of an hour.
okay.
And then she sort of wakes up with a jerk. It's almost as if she kind of had a nightmare of some sort, and she sees what is it? Penmore?
Yeah, Panmorn. I've shortened the name to Pan, so that's
Yeah, it's
probably...
easier.
Pan, the naive
She would
dragonborn. Gotcha.
She would actually probably start calling him Pan as normal anyway. So, and Pan was moping over the elf's sword.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Nalalia wakes up, and she sort of rubs at her eyes, and she sees Pan moping over the sword, and she just sort of walks over to him, and then she's like, though you didn't catch the Dragonborn from before, you did fairly well against the elf. I suggest you probably keep that sword.
Well, I've never really killed before. It's
No.
a lot different than in the stories.
You get used to it.
Yeah.
Getting used to it?
If you do it over and over again, at one point you stop caring. Happens to all of us at one point.
I don't want to stop caring. These are creatures. They had dreams. They had aspirations, and
In times like
now
this,
they don't.
it's them or us, and I prefer it's them. If somebody has to die, it's better it's them, not us.
Why does
Nelalia just shakes her head and like turns to Pan and is like, don't listen to him. It's fine. You can keep the blade to protect yourself, but that doesn't necessarily mean you have to needlessly kill. If you see someone who is going to hurt us, maybe, but as it stands, and then she just sort of like holds her hand under his chin because he's sort of smaller and's got a bigger chin because he's dragonborn, and she's like, as it stands, you helped me, and I appreciate that.
Thanks.
And then there's like this pause. It's like this sort of cute looking little scene because Pan already kind of likes her anyway.
And I see you're rolling with it.
Okay.
Yeah, and she. This is funny though. She like holds her hand. She's still holding his chin, and then she's like, "There's this adorable little pause," and then, however, smack! You burned the library.
Ow! But they were going to kill us.
You aim the fire breath down and hit them, not up and hit the library.
Good point.
But if the floor burns, won't the library fall into the fire?
Perhaps. But the fire may be quelled and some of the books be saved. If the fire is directly on the books.
By the way, Nanalia, here, look at this book. And I show her the spell book.
And then she just sort of drops everything that was happening with Pan and goes over to the book.
It's like, ooh, book.
Figured you'd like something like that.
She like swishes her tail and it comes like pretty close to like smacking Pan again, but it actually doesn't. And then she just like goes over and gets the book.
All right.
Yeah, I hand it over to her.
Okay, what do I get from this book? Should I roll Arcana or something?
Well, truth be told, I haven't actually figured out what's in the book yet.
Ow.
And it's a spell book, yeah, so... let's see here.
Maybe I could roll Arcana to figure out what kind of spell book? Like what kind of spells?
Sure, go ahead, roll that.
Let's see. Get my computer to work properly here.
Also, it'd probably be wise if we start, like, sort of announcing what our numbers are. Just on the grounds that I don't actually have a dice viewer in the recording, so last episode, very few people probably knew what the numbers were, actually. So, voicing what we roll would probably be wise, just to keep everyone watching in the loop.
Okay, so that is an 11.
Alrighty.
Not a great roll, but,
Not great, but it's enough to tell... Well, you don't really... Well, you can tell that it's for a different type of spellcaster than you. It's not a warlock spellbook, it's a wizard's.
Gotcha. Now, does Nalia specifically know that it's a wizard, or is she more... It's not warlock, and that's what she knows?
She knows it's wizards. I wouldn't have divulged onto you that information if I wasn't divulging it to the character.
Okay, just making sure.
Okay.
Alright. She sort of looks over the book and she's... Well, it's a spell book. And not for spells that I know, unfortunately. But it might be interesting as perhaps a selling point for a wizard in town or something of the sort. And then she looks to, what was the dwarf's name?
Tordek.
Tordik. She looks to him and she's, may I keep this with me?
Sure. I don't really have a use for it anyways.
And then she just sort of slips it into her bag with like the other. As she like opens up the bag to slip it in, Tordik probably sees like she's got like 2 or 3 books in there already.
Was that what was in the dwarf's bag, or what was in both bags?
That book was actually... Oh, wait, the spell book just now was
Yeah.
taken off of one of the corpses upstairs, not off of the dwarf or
Oh.
the elf.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the
Yeah,
guys
it
from-
was. I think it was supposed to be the wizard that was with them that died.
Mm-hmm.
It was
Okay.
his spell book.
What I've understood.
All right. All right. So.
And then Nalalia then looks to the like what's left of the house that's probably burned down to cinders at this point.
It's in pretty
And-
rough shape, yeah.
Yeah.
She looks up towards it, and then she looks to find Akira, the bird. Is he still on her shoulder, I would assume?
Actually, he's sort of up on the outer wall, just sort of resting a little bit after all that excitement. You know, his little crow heart can only take so much excitement. Even if, you know, he's been given longevity, that doesn't necessarily mean he's been given great, tolerance
Out
to
of
high stress.
character, he wasn't part of any fights. He sort of just sat there the entire time.
True, but that doesn't change the fact that there was a lot of aggression flying around him and fire.
Yeah. A lot
Very
of
stressful
fire.
for a bird.
Yes. Especially given the fact that all of those things were much, much bigger than he is.
How's Vashtin doing?
Well, he'll be waking up any moment now.
Ah.
Really confused and a little bit still totally burnt. He's gonna be taking a minute to try to, not have his skin crack while he moves.
Because that would be painful.
Speaking of, I'll roll my short rest hit die. Where's that at?
It's near your HP, I think. It's just above your
I just
death
did
saving
a.
throw.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll find it in a moment. But I just rolled a 1d8 for 7 health. So, I'm not, falling apart.
Right. Alright, so Akira sort of looks to the group who, after, Vashtin, right?
Yep.
Alright, after Vashtin is up and says, well, I'm pretty sure everyone's in decent shape now. What's our next move?
I was about to ask you the same thing.
How
It
about
really
your
does
friend
depend.
Char?
Pan's just going to pretend that there was no lull in the conversation before. But if someone's trying to stop what we are trying to do, does that mean we can hurt them then? Or
I don't necessarily think that Char and his comrades were trying to stop, though it's debatable with them getting that information. Maybe they were getting that information to withhold it from others, and that's worthy enough indeed to try to stop them. But we honestly know nothing of the character of the people who were in the attic that were killed. Perhaps they were some form of bandits and Char and his group were not.
Well, the only thing I know is I went up there, saw the dead bodies, then I went downstairs and asked him about it. The next second he drew his sword and told me he would either kill me or take me in chains. So I'm not so sure what to think about it.
But if we attack any creature that is against us, how are we different than Char? From Char.
Well, hopefully we'll be alive.
Yeah.
Not that it is of any focal point, really, but because I know that Brian doesn't really care about it as a DM. But what is everybody's like alignment?
Just so long as no one is evil, I'm fine with it.
Chaotic good.
Alright,
Lawful neutral.
alright.
Voshtin is sitting at true neutral right now, but is likely to shift in some direction down the line.
Alright, it's pretty standard for a druid. And what was Dala's
Okay, so-
alignment?
She was neutral good.
Okay. Alright, so there's the alignment range for the group, for anyone who was wondering. Alright.
Right.
I think I'm going to. I think I'm going to head back to the out of character. Was it the Glacial Fortress?
That's
Glacial
that's what we're calling it for now until I come up with a full-scale world map and plop the Glacial Fortress somewhere on it.
All right, I'm coming back. I think I'm going to head back to the Glacial Fortress. Killing just it. Adventures aren't as heroic as they're made out to be right now.
Nalalia will sort of look to Pan and be like, perhaps you're right, but as long as you yourself feel that you are a good person and that what you are doing is good, and as long as you understand what is going on around you, you are not doing a dark and evil act. It is only when you kill without knowing the... It is only when you kill without knowing that you would kill needlessly. If someone is attacking us and we are defending ourselves, if we don't defend ourselves we will die, then that's good enough reason to kill. Does that make us heroes? I don't know.
Not necessarily heroes, but not bad people either. If we don't have a choice, then we don't have a choice. It's okay to defend ourselves against people like Char.
But the bodyguards? What if they were just doing their jobs?
Akira pipes in saying, well, it's hard to say for sure and it's a bit late to dwell on that now.
And then
Well,
Nalalia sort of is quiet for a second, and then she's like, but if you want to return to your ice fortress, do you recall how they felt towards outsiders? Perhaps we could go with you.
They take some getting used to. They dislike creatures who actively seek out to hunt and kill dragons. But we are on a quest to stop that, so they should hopefully they should they should be fine. We should be fine.
I hope so.
And then she sort of looks at Pan closer, and she's, even someone like me? And she like swishes her tail for emphasis. It's like, by the way, I look like the gods that led to this whole mess.
Appearances don't matter that much. Out of character, you said that you didn't put the glacial fortress on the map, so do you want us to not go there?
We can cover travel times, and I can maybe find a way to prevent you from getting there until I actually get a proper map set up. And who knows, I can throw side quests at you along the way, if that's where you want to go. Right now, I'm just letting you guys determine your own direction, and I'll just throw shit at you as appropriate from there.
Okay. All right.
I mean, I will. I mean, depending on if you do decide to go to the Glacial Fortress, I will probably make the travel time a bit longer than I did last week, on the grounds that I'll need to actually come up with the world map and where the Glacial Fortress is.
Right. And that being said, this game would probably be much shorter than the last one was, both for the fact that you don't have as much prepared, so this is going to be sort of played by ear, and I need to be going to bed earlier than 4 o'clock in the morning like last time.
Right. So what? So how many? So currently at about 27 minutes of Skype call, which translates to about 24 minutes of game time so far. So how many hours do you think we've got?
I would say probably like 2.5, maybe 3. It would be fine by me.
All right.
But I don't necessarily think that you can, on a whim, go that much unless there's a whole lot of banter back and forth between characters, which I would enjoy. But
Well,
still.
We shall see what
I'm-
happens.
I'm having a lot of fun role playing right now, so.
Oh, yeah.
But
Yeah,
on
resume.
still out of character, if you guys, I'm still open to being persuaded not to go there. But
Yeah.
otherwise, I'm going there.
Well, how about we deal with Char first, and then we can go to the Glacial Fortress and see if we can find something out about how to save dragons and find a different way to sustain this world. But I don't like it, the idea that Char is still running around. At least we should find out why he killed those people.
Can I see the map?
You mean like the?
In character, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I meant in the character.
Yeah.
Who had the map originally?
We've mostly referenced you, but I'm pretty sure at least some of the I would imagine Tordek and you have a map, and I would imagine that maybe a local area map of the Glacial Fortress is what Pan has, but so probably either you or Tordek would have the map already.
Okay, so Nalia altered up the map.
I
Where
am
did Char
inclined
say?
to agree with
Where did-
Tordak.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh no, sorry.
Yep.
Where did Char say he was from again?
Good.
Well, he was a knight of Mander. So most likely he was foreign but resided in Whiteport, the capital.
Okay, Whiteport.
Yeah. I don't really know what you guys talked with him in the first few minutes. You were all talking a different language. When we first met him, remember? What is not cool, by
right,
the way.
Draconic.
Yeah, what is not cool, by the way. I didn't know what was going on. By the way,
Sorry.
you know what? I'm going
What?
over to the dwarf and look through his belongings.
Okay.
If he has some gold on him.
Nalalia will like call out to you as you start to head to the dwarf stuff, and she like, sorry about that. With the way that everyone else spoke up and was speaking to them, I thought perhaps all of us spoke Draconic. I will keep that in mind for next time.
It's okay.
There's a mountain range called Charth's Rise. Maybe he lives there.
I would hope that he's not that important.
Yeah. If that's named after him, I might be in trouble.
Also, that's like on an island across the strait or whatever. So that would probably take us quite a while to get to.
Well, all things considered, the Knight of Mander does not have a substantial lead on us. He's severely injured and wearing heavy armor. And in fact, we have his horse.
That's true.
The heavy armor when I chased him didn't seem to slow him that much, though. But we do have a horse. We have 3 horses, don't we?
Yes.
Yes.
If we can find all of them.
Akira, do you suppose you can find Char even given his hour-and-a-half lead?
I can make an effort and scan the surrounding area. Not sure if I'll find him or not, but I'll make the effort.
In the meantime, we should probably try to find the other horses.
Yeah. When I get to the dwarf, does he have gold on him?
Well,
Or anything?
yeah, about 4 gold pieces.
Then I would like to take those, and I would also like to take his chain vest.
Okay.
His chainmail.
Alright. Alright, so you got that.
Great.
Vashtin is going to settle down in front of where the door to the house once stood. How on fire is everything still?
It's sort of smoldering and still smoking a little, but the flames have mostly died down.
Alright.
And shockingly,
he's
the
gonna
house is
se-
not totally collapsed, but it's in horrible condition. Even worse than when you
Yep.
arrived.
He's going to settle down in front of the door and begin a ritual for a spell.
Okay, which one?
Detect magic.
Hmm.
Here, I'll put it into the chat. The ritual takes 10 minutes, and then the effect of detect magic lasts for 10 minutes.
Okay.
Akira, do you suppose you can go now and see which direction Char is heading?
He nods and says, yeah, I can manage that.
He must answer for what he has done.
Agreed.
I agree.
At which point, Akira turns and flies off.
Nalalia looks to Pan and like, perhaps you with your druidic power could lead us to the other horses or find them.
That is, Vashtin, I believe.
Yeah, that's Vashtin, not Pan.
I thought Pan was a druid. Okay,
No, he's a cleric.
No, I'm a cleric.
gotcha. Okay.
I just
All
want
right,
the
you did
horse
cure.
and look for it.
Okay, sorry. Botched then.
I suppose I'd be happy to. Vashtin breaks off the ritual and then heads off to look for horses.
Alright,
I try to help him.
alright.
Should I roll, like, survival or animal handling to look for horses?
Let's go with animal handling in this instance. Makes more sense in my mind.
Oof.
That is a 23.
Animal
altogether.
handling.
Jeez.
He handles those animals.
Don't make it weird. Don't make it weird. But,
Already too late.
yeah, shut
Yep,
up.
too late.
Alright, so you find the horses pretty handily. They're all just sort of standing around where you found the first one, just sort of grazing.
What seems to be their demeanor if I approach and attempt to get on one of them?
Which one are you trying to
Should I
get?
roll the warhorse. Yeah, I'll get on Char's warhorse.
The big white
Should I roll
warhorse?
animal handling
Yeah,
again?
yes, please roll animal handling. Holy Jesus. It's like 18
It's a good
plus
day
6.
to be a
Jeez.
druid.
Alright, so it sort of shifts uneasily under you, but doesn't complain beyond that.
I try to get a horse myself.
Alrighty.
I am proficient with land vehicles. Does this help me in any way? Do they count as land vehicles?
I'm pretty sure they count as land animals. Vehicle implies artificial.
So like chariots.
If we hooked a
Um,
cart up behind one of them, you'd be proficient.
Yes,
Yeah.
but you can't without the. You're not proficient without the card.
And it's an 11.
Add a 1d4 to that. I was going to say that to Vashti, and he rolled a 24.
Ah,
If we're not in any danger, just assume that I have, and we're doing things one at a time. Just assume I have guidance cast on you.
then let's add a 1d4. What's a 14?
Alright, so that 14. The horse is definitely uncomfortable once you mount it, sort of shifts uneasily, snorts a bit, moves uncomfortably, but beyond that, it's letting you stay on its back. The saddle's probably helping.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Nalia's back with Pan. What is Pan doing?
Brooding. He'll be okay. He'll be okay in a day or so.
Yeah, probably. Just right now, he's like, I killed a thing.
Well, we should probably get moving. It's
But what which direction?
we'll wait for Akara.
No.
There were
And of
only three
course-
horses, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's
only-
3 horses and 4 of us. I'm willing to walk, but the warhorse seems to like me.
Well, how about 2 people go on the warhorse and the other ones each have their own?
That makes the most sense.
Indeed.
And
And trust me, guys, you wanna give me a horse? I'm not that fast.
How much does each person weigh?
Oh, I do weigh a lot with all the armor.
Nalalia is 5'4" at 140 pounds. A lot of her weight comes from her tail and horns.
I weigh 150 pounds.
But you're only like 4'8".
5 feet. I'm a tall dwarf, but still.
I weigh 176 pounds, but my gear adds an additional 73.
Yeah, that's true.
I weigh in total 210 with gear and all.
So the lightest person in the entire group is Nalalia, as I figured.
Yeah, with my gear, I weigh 250 pounds.
So who's on the who does the warhorse like again?
Vashtin.
Okay. So Nalalia will ride on the warhorse with Vashtin. And then Pan and Toric could have the other 2 horses. That makes the most sense.
Yeah.
This also allows Vashtin to keep the horse at bay because Nalalia is not good with animals at all.
Indeed.
I'm also a big dragon, so I'm going to take a -4 penalty on this animal handling check.
Okay.
All right.
You at a -4?
Because I'm a part dragon.
You know,
Yeah.
it might be best to put Pan on the warhorse, just because it'll be familiar to it.
Eh.
Wow.
Yeah.
Critical botch, ladies and gentlemen. First botch of the session.
It's a 0.
Total is 0, yes.
Even with the guidance
Yeah.
so high.
Okay, that's
That's a 0.
that's a 0.
That is a total of 0. So that was for Pan trying to get on a horse's back.
Trying to get close to a horse.
Just trying to get close to the horse. The horse looks at you. Its eyes widen to sausage, and it bolts, letting out a whinny as it goes.
I'm looking at him and say, no, we can't share this horse. No, it won't carry both of us.
Pan doesn't even look surprised, just sighs.
Vashton hops off of the warhorse to go and try to find where it ran off to.
Oh my goodness.
Okay.
So I guess I got to roll animal handling unless Nanalia gets off the horse.
Alright.
Wait, are you already on the horse?
Nah, well, I was thinking she would have hopped up, but yeah, we'll say for simplicity that she didn't.
Okay.
She was just like approaching.
Alright. Alright, so with Vashton, looking for the horse, correct?
Yep.
Alright, so you look around for a little while. What would be an appropriate check for finding the horse? Investigation?
Perception.
Okay. Perception.
Because
I get their applications mixed up on occasion. Was that another critical failure? That was another critical
That's a
failure.
critical failure.
That's why we call this show Critical Botch, ladies and gentlemen.
Goodbye, horse.
Yeah.
Yes, you cannot find the horse. In fact, you're
I'm
pretty
happy
sure
I-
it's outright left the valley.
you rolled so badly that Char finds the horse.
Don't
Char
give me
gets
ideas,
over
man.
by
Don't
the
give me
horse.
ideas.
Oh no.
So it's get
Well-
the one Dragonborn runs to the other one, runs back scared again.
It looks like I'm walking.
Alright.
Yeah, just hop on to my horse and
I'm walking. Yeah, I think Pan feels most like walking right now. He's just slowly trudging towards the valley entrance.
while we were going there, I asked them, how do we get the horses down from the wall? We had to climb up to get here.
That's a good point.
Yeah, they said they had a mage with them that levitated the horses up, but we can't just throw them down and expect them to survive.
Well, did Char actually go down the mountain himself when he was running? I don't remember which direction he left in, so I don't know if we're actually going to be going in that direction to begin with.
Yeah.
He left roughly in the same direction you guys came from.
Okay, so we would be going down then.
Yeah.
Considering he had to climb down, is it possible for us to see him from high up as we're making our way towards like the hill's edge or whatever?
Considering the time that has passed, it is unlikely.
Okay.
Yeah, I would still just look for anything I can see when we are up there.
Alright. Well, if you're gonna look to
Well-
see if you can spot Char from up there, go ahead and roll perception.
Doing
I
is
don't-
we're going down the mountain, and he's keeping his eyes peeled for Char and on the skies for Carol.
Zikwan, your mic has gotten really robotic-y.
Oops.
Oh, there we go. It's better now. Probably just a connection hiccup. Alright. Alright, so. Let's see here. Alright, so. What did you say back there when you were robotic-y?
Oh, we are heading down the mountain, and I forgot, was it Vashtin who was talking, or Tordek?
No, it was me, Tordek.
Okay, so Tordek was looking down the mountain to see if he sees Char, and I'm assuming
Places.
someone is looking up to see if a car to look for a Kara.
Eulalia. Yeah,
So do I roll perception?
Probably.
Yep, probably.
10.
You do not see Char anywhere in the areas below.
It's even worse than my passive perception.
Whereas,
Mine was my passive perception.
yeah, Nalalia rolled a 12. So, whereas Nalalia sees a few birds overhead, but none of them are a Kara at the moment.
Let's see. Well, we don't have any real means to go down the mountain and take the horses with us.
Yeah.
These horses can't really rock climb any better than I can.
Flattering example.
I suppose we'll just have to leave them here and go after Char on foot. I
Yeah.
mean, the horses did give us a bit more of an edge, I would assume.
And even if we somehow figured out a way to get down the mountain, it would still cost us a lot of time, I think.
Yeah. And I figure if Char is, if he's wounded, if he's having to move slower and more carefully to make sure he's not going to kill himself, he would probably head to Wayrest. It's the closest town to here and has enough people where he might be able to get some help.
I look at my map and see if that's correct, if that's the closest town.
Allow me to just sort of ping out. Yep.
Yeah, because
No, Grey Rose, I guess. But it does has a river.
Yeah. We could. How heavy are the horses?
They're about horse weight. I have no idea. They're heavy.
they are
They're
heavy.
probably
They're
heavier
heavy.
than you can
They're
lift.
Yeah, there's no real substantial way that I think that we could carry the horses down. That makes no sense.
And the horses would probably not like that.
Yeah.
No.
And you've already
Well, I'm
scared
saying that is true, but the alternative is leaving them behind. If we're going through the river passageway, then we don't need to deadlift it straight 10 feet down. By the way, horses can survive 10 feet falls. But
That's what I'm thinking too.
it's a 10-foot fall. I could survive a 10-foot fall.
Right.
So if we follow the river can bear most of the burden. All we need to make sure is the horses don't slip.
So could
So
you be
what,
more,
perhaps-
could you be a bit more clear about what you're suggesting? Because I'm sort of blanking on what you're meaning here. Forgive me, I'm tired. I didn't sleep well last night.
Okay, so it's a 10-foot wall, right?
The one that you
So-
had to climb to get up.
Yeah.
I thought it was a bit taller than that person. I thought.
It was 18.
Oh, 18-foot wall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
10 feet.
So it's a 20-foot wall. If we go along the river passages, there's a chance that it won't be as steep. Actually, I might actually not know that information, but yeah, forget what I said. Pan doesn't know that information.
Oh, also, fun fact. I went ahead and made the ruler to scale. So, in Roll20, last time it would measure in feet, and now it measures in actual, mile distance.
Okay. Oh, that's far away.
Well, would it be possible for us to follow the cliff, the cliff, and find where the river meets in or starts, or I don't know how waterways work.
You could make the effort to find where the river starts up in the mountains from snowmelt, but there are risks
That's-
associated with that, such as losing valuable time if you can't find it.
Well, I just dismount my horse then, and I look through the saddle, by the way, if there's anything useful in there.
Just a few days worth of rations.
Then I take them, because I'm running low on rations.
Okay.
So let's say 3, 4, or how many are in there?
Let's go with 4.
And yeah, then I let the horse go its way.
All right. Well then, I guess it's a matter of choosing a destination or whatever else options you guys come up with.
The
Should
real
we just
question,
go to Grey Rose?
the real question is if Char will even make it to Grey Rose, because he left with none of his things on a 100 and about 50-mile journey.
Yeah, but he didn't seem that weak.
Yeah.
I mean, if he got away from us,
He also was a mage himself, or what was he, a paladin? I think.
He was more like a fighter.
yeah,
He had no magical
Okay, so-
capacity, just a fighter.
he could breathe fire and hit with his sword. That's all I can
He
tell
hit
you.
me with a large metal object. That's all I've got.
Do we see Akara coming back?
A few more minutes pass, and then Akira does come back. Yeah. Let's see. I need to re-reference the roll I made. Okay. 17. All right. So Akira swoops down, lands in front of you, and promptly says, "Well, I wasn't quite able to find Char, but I was able to find his cuirass. He left a piece of his armor behind, apparently. Near as I can tell, he abandoned it because, well, there was a huge dent in it. I'm guessing it was impairing his ability to breathe. If we go there, maybe we can find some footprints and track him from there. I'm not the best at that, so..."
That sounds like a good idea. Let's go.
All right.
Show us the way.
Very well. And if everyone's all right with that, Akira will start in that direction.
Which probably leads down the mountain.
Yes, it
Yeah,
does.
I'll take anything that is in the warhorse's saddle and then head down the mountain.
Alrighty. Yeah, so again, just like a few days rations, 4 days rations in each horse's saddle, so.
Okay.
Alright, so, let's see here. So, travel
Do
time.
you think you can convince the horse to jump?
Do you want me to attempt to convince this horse to jump off that ledge? I am willing to do such a thing, but I'd like it to be someone else's idea.
I don't know a whole lot about animals, but I would assume with feet like that, and she looks down at the horse's hooves, a fall from this height, even if it landed on its feet, would not be very
Healthy?
healthy.
Is there snow on the bottom?
No, it's rock.
Not on the bottom.
Oh, rock. Okay, I lied. Yeah, a horse will not survive that unless going... No. I don't think a horse would survive that.
Cast jump on it and let it jump.
That way we can find out if jump allows people to land as well.
No, it doesn't.
I know, it doesn't. The horse doesn't
Otherwise-
know that.
Yeah. So you're gonna lie to it. Anyways. I feel bad leaving the horse here.
The
They
horse
can
had
sur-
food here to graze.
Uh,
They'll be fine, and I would assume that they would also be able to find their way around and perhaps a means to, you know, they're smart enough to figure things out on their own, I would think.
and they will be happy here. Nobody's riding on them. They are free.
Alright, so.
Okay, let's climb down.
Yep. All right, we climbed down the mountain.
All right.
I use my rope to let everybody down first, so nobody gets hurt.
All right. So, yeah. So, I'm just gonna go ahead and real quickly cover the trip to your destination, which is the abandoned Curus. So, you make your way down through the mountains for several hours. It's getting on towards dusk, and nighttime by the time you reach your destination. You're still in the slopes of the mountains, but you're down far enough that there's some grass growing and some flowers and stuff like that. Mountain flowers and grasses. There's still all sorts of rocks scattered around, but that's besides the point. Akira comes to a landing on top of the abandoned Curus a few dozen feet ahead.
I run up to the bird.
Alright.
So that's where he left his armor. And I look at the armor. If it's heavily damaged, do I know if I could repair it?
It is pretty badly damaged. You should know your axe is the thing that broke
Yeah,
it.
I know.
There's a pretty sizable gash in it where you also accompanied by a rather sizable dent, which is where the wound was. There's blood surrounding it that's dried up at this point, or at least partially dried for the most part. And, just all sorts of fun and happy crap.
Big? Oh, how big are the breaks?
The what?
How big is like the dent and the slash?
I'd say the dent would cover say from the side to round about a little past where a human's nipple would be, as far as distance covered, and it's a bit wider and it's fairly wide. And the cut, the gash in the armor, isn't quite that long, but it covers a fair chunk in the center of the dent. And it's pretty shredded too, so.
The side to the human.
So it's a pretty sizable dent and gash.
Okay.
So in answer to Tordek's question, well, it might be possible to repair it, but it might be a humongous pain in the ass.
If you know mending, you can fix it in about 4 minutes.
I look at him. Do I look like I do magic?
I'll pick it up. Well, I might be able to fix it later, if you really want it.
If you can do that, then I will carry it, and I pick up the plate mail, I guess it was, right?
Yeah.
Then I have to look up if I can carry all that stuff.
It looks like he's heading towards the river.
Well, first things first, if folks could go, whoever's trying to track down where the guy's going, if you could go ahead and roll a survival check to see if you can track him, that would be great.
Sure, I can do that.
Yeah.
I will also look for footprints leaving the camp.
As will I.
With an 8, I am probably not finding anything.
I'm also looking. I guess we're all just looking. Do I
Oh,
get...
hey.
I see it's them book learnings.
I have a 22.
Oh.
And do I have also your guidance bonus?
No, that's just me.
Okay.
22 will tell you anything.
All right, so what were all the final numbers? One at a time, please.
8.
All right.
13, 15, and 22.
All right. So the 15 and 22 get it. So Nalalia and Tordeg are able to note that there is that there is in fact a sort of heavy path, footprints in the grass and dirt and gravel and all that, leading to Grey Rose, or at least in that general direction.
Is there any blood or anything like that among it?
A little bit, but not much.
What do you think, guys? I mean, here are his traces. Do we camp during the night, or do we just try to catch up with him?
if
And
he's
don't
heading to
sleep.
Grey Rose,
He has a few hours lead on us, I assume.
yeah. If we s-
Let's follow the tracks. Akara, get some rest. In a couple of hours, can you go up again and see if you can't find him? We're in a plains, right?
You're sort of in the foothills at this point, but they are sloping down towards the open plains. Yeah. So
Yeah. Once we reach the plains, Akara, if you can get some rest right now. Once we reach the plains, can you see if you can go find him again?
Akara nods, says, "Whew, I can try."
Nalalia will like reach into her bag with her rations and stuff like that and find some suitable part of the rations that might, because the rations included like trail mix kind of things anyway. So
Yeah.
she like finds something that would resemble something that
You find a peanut.
Akira, so, yeah, something that Akira would be able to eat and offers it up to him.
He goes, "Ooh, nom nom nom," and bites into the peanut and eats it.
And then probably just sits on like her horn or something.
Yeah, pretty much. It just takes a perch on your horn, so your head's sort of tilted at a slight angle because of the weight.
Nah.
Let's get moving.
All right.
Right, let's go.
All right. So as I was saying, it was nearing dusk when you guys reached the armor. So, how far are you wanting to go? Give me a count in miles here, because you're right here still.
We are marching till sundown. I know it's not in miles, but I don't know how much until sundown.
So if it's dusk, how many hours is that until?
Let's say you've got 2 hours before it's fully night.
So we probably went all of like 8 miles.
Can we just try to walk faster? Like a forced march, trying to catch up with him?
Yeah, you could go at a fast speed according to my cheat sheet here. The problem is that would impose a -5 penalty to passive perception.
Yeah, we want the passive perception.
Yeah, we don't want to be going too fast. Plus,
And miss something.
I don't think we want to go too fast and miss something. Yeah.
I think that after tonight's rest, we could march the rest of the way and bridge the gap between us.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially since then we would have Akara would be rested, and it's a plains,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
It's really easy to find some on plains.
Yep.
Yeah. Plus, Char is either going to stop and rest himself, which is going to keep him from getting to Grey Rose, or he's going to march to Grey Rose himself with a wound and maybe not even make it. I mean, and then she didn't.
And if he did make it, he's far too powerful for any of us to handle.
Well,
There's also
Botch's
another
armor.
problem. If Char is prominent in Whiteport, does anybody know the history behind? Not the history. Does anybody know? Yeah, how reputation works in that? Like, is Grey Rose very pro Dunmore Kingdom? Like, would they care that? Would they care about some major person from Whiteport walking in injured, or are they more like, oh, we're an outskirts town?
Grey Rose, as indicated by its black outline and it being a white circle, it is a major city, so they probably would care.
Oh, so this is a major city.
Yes. You can tell the difference between the major cities and the small towns because small towns are black with a white outline and sort of scribbled text. The big cities are much larger in size as far as the symbol, and their names are in all caps.
I say we wake up early tomorrow. If he makes it to Grey Rose before we do, there might be trouble.
Or he's going to rest during the night. Should we just walk during the night? I mean, he only has a couple of hours. Lead.
I say
on
we
us.
do, but we don't rush. We keep our eyes peeled for anything that might
Yeah.
try to
But
strike
let's
us
just
tonight.
not camp and try to find him.
Alright.
And then she sort of looks up with her eyes towards Akira and just like, and you of course can still rest there.
Alright.